สวัสดีค่ะแขกผู้มีเกียรติแล้วก็นักศึกษาทุกท่านนะคะกิจกรรมที่จะจัดในวันนี้เป็นกิจกรรมที่จัดขึ้นเพื่อจบการศึกษาของหลักสูตรนักพัฒนาศักยภาพบุคคลพิเศษแนวทางมนุษยปรัชญาประเทศไทยรุ่นที่1นะคะหลักสูตรนี้ใช้ระยะเวลาเรียนรู้เป็นเวลานาน2 ปีเป็นการศึกษาต่อเนื่องโดยที่ออกแบบการเรียนรู้ยึดตามโครงสร้างของหลักสูตรสากล Curative Education and Social Therapy แล้วก็มีการปรับเนื้อหาให้เหมาะสมกับบริบทของสังคมไทยในหลายๆด้านหลักสูตรเริ่มต้นเมื่อวันที่1 เมษายน 2018 นะคะ 2018 เมื่อ3 ปีที่แล้วโดยมีผู้สมัครเข้าเรียนหลักสูตรนี้ทั้งสิ้น32 ท่านในจำนวน32 ท่านนี้มีนักเรียนทุน5 ท่านนะคะการเรียนรู้ของหลักสูตรเนี่ยแบ่งเป็น2 ส่วนในส่วนของภาคทฤษฎีนะคะสอนโดยผู้เชี่ยวชาญทางด้านการศึกษาบำบัดการแพทย์แนวมนุษยปรัชญาและในภาคปฏิบัติอีก 40% ผู้เรียนทั้งหมดเนี่ยจะต้องฝึกงานจริงกับเยาวชนพิเศษนะคะฝึกสอนฝึกทำงานกับเยาวชนในห้องเรียนปีก้าขาแข็งของชุมชนเพื่อนพัฒนาสุขเป็นระยะเวลาทั้งสิ้น200 ชั่วโมงด้วยโครงสร้างการเรียนที่มีการฝึกปฏิบัติจริงจึงส่งผลให้ผู้ที่ผ่านหลักสูตรเกิดคุณภาพเกิดเป็นคุณภาพภายในอย่างจริงแท้เป็นนักพัฒนาศักยภาพบุคคลพิเศษแนวทางมนุษยปรัชญาที่มีความรู้ที่ถูกต้องตามหลักการความรู้ที่แท้จริงมีทัศนคติที่ถูกต้องต่อบุคคลพิเศษทัศนคติของการอยู่ร่วมกันและทัศนคติต่อตนเองที่เป็นมนุษย์เท่าเทียมกันนอกเหนือจากนั้นยังสามารถที่จะสร้างกลายเป็นทักษะของการนำความรู้มาใช้ในชีวิตประจำวันการนำความรู้มาลงปฏิบัติจริงๆตามแต่คุณลักษณะของบุคคลพิเศษที่ตัวเองดูแลด้วย3 อย่างนี้นะคะความรู้ทัศนคติและทักษะหลอมรวมอยู่ในตัวของนักศึกษาทุกท่านจนกลายเป็นมืออาชีพเป็นความรู้จริงในทฤษฎีทำงานได้จริงปฏิบัติได้จริงในทุกรูปแบบกับเยาวชนพิเศษตั้งแต่แรกเกิดจนกระทั่งถึงอายุ21 ปีสำหรับกิจกรรมในวันนี้ช่วงเช้านะคะจะเป็นพิธีจบการศึกษาโดยมีกำหนดการดังนี้นะคะเราจะเริ่มจากสุนทรพจน์จากคุณครูเบกกี้นะครูเบกกี้ที่เป็นอินสตรัคเตอร์ของ Camp Hill Academy แล้วก็เป็นครูหลักในวิชาพื้นฐานหลังจากนั้นก็จะเป็นการแสดงทัศนคติและความสนใจเฉพาะด้านของนักศึกษาแต่ละคนความสนใจเฉพาะด้านนี้ได้ใช้กระบวนการศึกษาแนวทางการวิจัยสืบค้นหัวข้อที่ตัวเองทุกท่านสนใจแล้วก็ทำออกมาเป็นโครงการก่อนจบทั้ง12 ท่านซึ่งเราจะนำเสนอเป็นวิดีโอคลิปนะคะสั้นๆท่านละประมาณ 7-8 นาทีและทั้ง12 เรื่องนี้จะเป็นโครงวิจัยต่อยอดได้สำหรับประเทศไทยสำหรับกลุ่มคนที่สนใจเรื่องการศึกษาบำบัดไม่ว่าจะเป็นสถาบันการศึกษาจะเป็นพ่อแม่ครอบครัวหรือจะเป็นนักสหวิชาชีพต่างๆส่วนในช่วงบ่ายนะคะจะเป็นการเสวนาย่อย4 หัวข้อจากโครงงานวิจัยก่อนจบของนักศึกษาทุกท่านโดยแบ่งเป็น4 หัวข้อดังนี้ค่ะหัวข้อที่1 Physical Body โดยมีประเด็นนำเสนอเสวนาว่าร่างกายและประสาทสัมผัสสะท้อนพัฒนาการได้อย่างไรอันนี้คือกลุ่มที่1เสวนานะคะกลุ่มที่2ของเสวนาเป็นกลุ่มเสวนาเรื่องของ Etheric Body นำเสนอประเด็นดังนี้ค่ะพลังชีวิตคืออะไรวิธีสังเกตและวิธีให้ความช่วยเหลือทำอย่างไร กลุ่มที่3เป็นกลุ่มของ Astral Body นำเสนอประเด็นกายความรู้สึกประตูลับที่จะนำไปสู่ความเป็นผู้ใหญ่พิเศษนะคะและหัวข้อที่4เป็นเรื่องของ Ego หรือ I Organization นำเสนอประเด็นสำคัญที่ว่าผู้ดูแลจะเป็นปัจจัยส่งเสริมหรือฉุดรั้งพัฒนาการในบุคคลพิเศษอย่างไรนะคะและอันนี้จะแล้วก็เป็นกรอบของวันนี้ทั้งวันแล้วก็ถึงช่วงเวลาสำคัญนะคะณวินาทีนี้ดิฉันขอนำทุกท่านเข้าสู่พิธีการจบการศึกษาของนักศึกษานักพัฒนาศักยภาพบุคคลพิเศษแนวทางมนุษยปัญญาประเทศไทยรุ่นที่1ค่ะ
จิตวิญญาณแห่งศาสนาโปรดเอาการความอ่อนแอในดวงจิตที่รวนเรเอามาสิ้นซึ่งความเป็นแก่ตัวเป็นจิตประทานความเมตตาเพื่อความไร้ซึ่งตัวตนอันเป็นกระแสตาแห่งชีวิตมนุษยชาติให้ได้ด้วยผู้ที่มาเป็นแหล่งกำเนิดใหม่ของจิตวิญญาณ
Congratulations to everyone and to read my greetings and congratulations to everyone. To Tan, to Wheat, Chu, Nang, Lang, Sun, Da, Jay, Tao, and Ing. I also want to congratulate Caesar and Tao and Win and Tang Mo, and especially want to congratulate Suwani, who feels like a sister to me. She has accomplished something that has not been accomplished yet in Thailand before, and that's the completion of a really comprehensive training in anthroposophic social therapy and social inclusion. And all of you are her final projects, so to speak. I'm wishing I could really be with you. I'm wishing that my shirt had come in the mail. But I want you all to know that we're certainly on the same team, and that you are part of a sisterhood, part of a brotherhood that is really around the world. As you know from our conversations and your own research, that there are people who are interested in practicing anthroposophic curative education and social therapy in every corner. And when the days seem dark, and we have had many dark days in this time of the pandemic, put your mind and your heart on that you are part of a great society that is working to do the best for the world. I would like to celebrate each of your personal accomplishments, but especially to celebrate that through you and through Suwani's inspiration and through all of your hard work, you have brought to Thailand something that is so important, and it's only a seed. This is only the beginning. I'd like to say that I really admire each of you, that despite your very busy personal lives and professional lives, and I think because of Facebook, we even have a few new marriages in the group. Despite all of that, you've all shown such dedication and steadfastness, despite the fact that there was COVID and all that that has meant around the world. You have persevered. I've read the titles of your final projects, wonderful titles. I'm looking forward to reading them, so you better get busy, son. You have a lot of translation to do. You have contributed substantially to our field, and your writings will be of use to other people. Your own courage, determination, and love has supported you towards this final goal. But also because you've had such wonderful teachers. And I don't just mean Becky. I don't even mean just Suwani. The real teachers who taught your hands and taught your heart to be able to use what was in your head. Those teachers are Caesar, Tangmo, Tao, and Win. And I honor them as my colleagues, as you honor them as your true teachers. And what have you been taught? What has the curriculum been over these years? If you tried to explain it to someone, they would have a hard time getting an idea of it. What you have been taught is the true image of the human being. That the human being is much more than what we see, much more than what we can only observe. And yet, when we learn how to observe, when we learn how to look, then we can glimpse something of the whole human being in the physical body of the person. Now, how do we learn to see like this? How do we learn to see the whole being of the other person? We found out that the only way to learn how to see another person is through learning how to see ourselves, learning how to see your own self. We have to learn how to see our own selves objectively, with interest, and with compassion. What is our true nature? What is our true destiny? And how can I work with my own self to be able to meet my destiny in the best way? Now, most of the world agrees with us when we're talking about normal people. They say things like, follow your dreams, or be all you can be. But when it comes to working with people with a disability, then the world concentrates on fixing them. The world concentrates on fixing what's wrong, like trying to figure out what's lacking. And that has a good impulse in it, in its way, but you have learned what a limiting identity that is. If the world just sees you as somebody who's lacking something. Out of anthroposophy, we can dedicate ourselves to helping the other person become themselves. Out of anthroposophy, we can dedicate ourselves to helping our own self become more yourself, to become better able to be yourself. I think it was 2 years ago when I was in Waklek at Friends Community. It was a rest time in the middle of the day, and people were free to do what they wanted to do. And at that time, Caesar was very interested in building a kind of waterway near the mud house, the house I like to call the Mexican house. And he was, as you remember, this was tremendously difficult work. And he was picking up heavy stones and moving heavy stones and digging. And he was doing this in the heat of the day because it was exactly out of his own freedom what he wanted to do. Standing next to him was Tall, playing his violin. And I thought, this is a perfect picture of the impulse of social therapy, even the impulse of Camp Hill, that each person in the community is helped by the others to become themselves. A landscape designer, a musician. This was a very inspiring picture, and I've shared this story in other communities. So what you have been taught is who is the human being. The way you have been taught is also quite unique, because in the curriculum that Suwani has designed and all of you have participated in is the important fact that the practical work is as important as learning the theory. And that it is through your own experience, sometimes succeeding, sometimes failing, always trying again, and always developing questions that will lead you to your next answer. This is it's a different way to be taught these kinds of skills. It's giving you a pathway to make the theories meaningful, to make the theories be part of your own understanding, not just something you carry around in your head, but something you really have that helps you see a person, helps you see yourself, helps you understand a situation. So we've learned through the lectures, through theory, through the concepts, we've learned through practice, and we've learned through the arts. That's the third element, the element of the arts. And you have had the visual arts, painting, you've had movement with spatial dynamics and also with eurythmy, with sun, and you've had opportunities for writing. And this artistic work has helped you to deepen your intellectual understanding. I hope it has helped you to surprise yourself sometimes, to develop your intuition. The creativity in the artistic work has helped you develop creativity in your relationships. And surely the most artistic challenge is to be a relationship artist. That is really what we're trying to learn. How do we make our relationships be full of creativity, interest, flexibility, all of the things that would contribute to making it an art. I think that most of you know who Carl Koenig was. He was the founder of the Camp Hill movement beginning in the 1930s and early 1940s in Scotland. And the name of the house, the original house, one of the original houses was called Camp Hill House. That's where the name comes from. And what seems to be inspiring for us today was really very radical in that time, that people with disabilities would be seen as a whole person, that there would be an expectation for working creatively with new social forms. And as you also know, the Camp Hill movement has developed over all of these years. And we have Camp Hill places in many, many countries. You know, I always like to say in every continent except one, and that's Antarctica. And there are new initiatives coming all the time in Thailand, in Friends Community, places where you might least expect it. I'll be visiting a new Camp Hill initiative in Rwanda this week. So again, you know, you have your brothers and sisters around the world. And all of these places are inspired by Carl Koenig's work. But the secret is that Dr. Koenig also said that this way, this commitment, this dedication should not be limited to the Camp Hill environment. That we should go through our lives, go through our daily details of life, always trying to see the whole person, regardless of where we are, always trying to fill a space between one human being and another with interest, with creativity, with warmth. Camp Hill can be a kind of seed. It can be like dropping a stone in a pond, and the ripple that goes out from that can benefit. It can change the world. And the world needs to be changed at the moment. And you have started on the path of being people who can bring this light. And I'm very grateful and very proud to have been part of your journey. I'm very humbled by the depth of your work, the creativity in the subjects and the themes of your final projects. And my work with you when I was able to be there with you has inspired me deeply and has touched me and has helped me to be more the person I'm meant to be. I'd like to finish with a verse that I'm not sure that we have used in our training modules. It's a verse that's often used by the teachers group in any Waldorf school, but I think we can use it in many situations. It's a verse, of course, by Rudolf Steiner. Imbue yourself with the power of imagination. Have courage for the truth. Sharpen your feeling for responsibility of soul. Now, this word imbue in English it's not a common word. What does it actually mean? Maybe Sun is trying real hard to figure out how to translate it, so I'll help you. Imbue means to inspire or to penetrate yourself. So if you imbue yourself with the power of imagination, you are penetrating yourself with your ability to be creative in your thinking, to be flexible, to use your creativity that is grounded in your understanding of the concepts and in your observations. Have courage for the truth. Now in English, there is an expression, the truth hurts, and it can be painful. especially when we are learning about ourselves and trying to become better examples of ourselves. You have to have courage to see the other person, to see a situation, and to see yourself objectively. Free yourself from your personal likes and dislikes. This takes tremendous work, and you need courage to accomplish it. Sharpen your feeling for responsibility of soul. I think all of you have a lot of responsibilities in your life. There's one more. Each of us, as you remember, have soul capacities. There are three main soul capacities: our ability to think, our ability to feel, and our ability to do things. Sharpen your feeling to be responsible to develop those capacities within yourself. Have clarity of thinking, flexibility and compassion in your feeling, and confidence and competence in your own ability to do things in the world. Dedicate yourself to developing that within yourself. But it's not only our own soul capacities that we are concerning ourselves with here, but dedicating ourselves to the work of supporting soul development in the other. Certainly with the people who we see as having disabilities that are in our care, but have a sense of responsibility for that within every encounter, within every relationship. I'll say it again. Imbue yourself with the power of imagination. Have courage for the truth. Sharpen your feeling for responsibility of soul. My true wish is that we will be able to meet again. And I send you my best wishes and congratulations again to each of you. ขอบคุณค่ะ
สวัสดีค่ะพรบุรีไก่แก้ว Caretaker